Hey guys, I wanted to do a brief orientation video to welcome you to the class. Welcome to Med Micro. My name is Kim Suwach, and I'm going to be your instructor for both the lecture and lab portions of this class in this abbreviated, super short 8-week semester instead of the full 16-week semester. So we are going to cover an entire full semester's worth of content in 8 weeks. It is very fast paced. It's going to cover a lot of material, and I want to set the stage and let you know how things are running and how the class is going to go, and a whole bunch of basic important things to get you on the right track. So just real quick, a little bit about myself. Again, my name is Kim Suwach, and I have been at Georgia Highlands since 2015. So I've been teaching here for 6 years, at least 6 or 7 years. It's been a while. I've been teaching Med Micro for the last 2 years, 2 or 3. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been teaching this. So we started it face to face, and then we have slowly worked it to online. And then once COVID hit, everything went online. So I've been teaching this one for a while. I am married. I've got two kids. I got 2 dogs right here in front of me, and I have 3 children. I've got 2 cats. We have a lot of animals. My background is wildlife science, so I love animals. I love being outside. Being outdoors is my happy place. It is my mental personal therapy is to be outside. So I will share lots of weird things about myself. I'm an oversharer. I have a background in wildlife science. I do have background knowledge to help you in this class, though. I do have both masters is in wildlife science, but I have taken graduate level classes in advanced med phys and runs and behavior and other classes with this background in mind. So the knowledge is there. I am also currently going back to grad school and pursuing my doctorate in education at Valdosta State. So I too am a student who is doing online courses just like you. So I totally get it. And so I want to set the stage and let you know where everything is so you can plan and handle your time management, because time management is key to be successful in school. So let's get started with everything. Let's walk you through the course, where everything is, the syllabus, all the good stuff. And I'm going to try and keep this quick, but I'm thinking it's probably going to be 30 minutes anyway. Let's go. So today is the first day. It is Saturday of this abbreviated course, and we are live. We are running. We are just going to hit the ground running. So here's the course homepage. Here is our welcome announcement. We are all starting off with an A. Yes, you have an A right now, and we want to keep that A. I want everyone in this class to work hard and keep the A that you currently have right now. So I am going to talk about the specs that you're going to need, all of those details in order to take this class fully online. You're going to need a computer, either a desktop or a laptop, because this class is going to use Labster, this really cool online lab with virtual simulations. They're really neat. They really mimic what you do in the face-to-face lab, but those things don't run well on a tablet or a Chromebook. So if you can, I'm going to need you to get a computer at home for yourself, or you can come to campus when it is time to do your labs or take tests with the Respondus Lockdown Browser and Monitor. So those are the techs that you're going to have to be successful in this class. You are going to need a computer at home, or you will need to be able to come to the class, come to campus and take these tests and these simulations on their tech in order to be successful in this class. What do you need to do right off the bat? Well, when you logged in to get the CRN to even register for this class, you saw that you need to take a practice quiz. So here is the practice quiz link. When you click it, it's going to take you, let's look at it as a demo student. Let me switch. Here, as demo student. So you're going to scroll back down, go to practice quiz, and you're going to see it, and it's going to go down, and you're going to click launch Respondus Lockdown Browser. Every test in this class is going to be using Respondus Lockdown Browser. I am going to treat this just like my face-to-face class. So I watch my face-to-face students take their classes. I'm going to watch you take their classes, take their tests. I'm going to watch you take your test too. It is, I know it is kind of like a super creepy Big Brother feeling, but it's not fair for online tests not to be monitored while face-to-face is. So we try and make it exactly the same. I know health science is what most of our pathway students are in, nursing, dental hygiene, stuff like that. So those are competitive programs, and it's not fair for a certain segment of the students to have an advantage over another. So we try and make everything as standard as possible in our AP1, AP2, and mid-micro classes. So online students are going to be monitored just like face-to-face students. You will need Respondus Lockdown Browser Monitor. And so it's a link to download it here, and then you launch it and it will lock down your browser just like it says. It will record you, and I do watch the videos. So I do. And if I see, suspicious activity, like people looking away, people not looking at the screen, people looking at other things besides their screen where the test is, I'm going to get suspicious. I'm going to think that that might be cheating. And if I do suspect it's cheating, I will contact you. But if, you are blatantly cheating on a test, I'm totally going to send you to the Judiciary Committee and go for a 0 in the class. I don't tolerate cheating. Please don't do it. So we have Respondus Lockdown Browser Monitor to try and prevent that. And you're not going to do that, right? Because you're an honest, awesome student, and you are just going to log in and take your test, and you're going to have all the knowledge up here, and it's just going to flow, and you're just going to rock the test to get an A. So that is how you're going to take tests in here. There's going to be a link. The link will be in the announcements. Links for things are also here in the calendar. I try and lay out everything in the calendar right here in the middle for things and when they are due. Occasionally, if you wait until the last second, try not to wait till the last second. Do as I say and not as I do, because I too am a queen of procrastination. Please don't do that. You cannot do that in this class. You've got to do a little bit every single day in order to be successful in this class. If something is due and you've waited to the day of, sometimes, occasionally, the calendar will play tricks on me and it will take down a link from the calendar. So if you think that something is due, I want you to come to this assessments and then go. And, I think I have a quiz that's due. So I'm going to click the quiz link, and here's what it's going to look like. Here are all the current quizzes right here that are open. So these are all the things that I need you to do before Wednesday at midnight. The course is going to be divided up into weeks. And for us in this class, Wednesday at midnight is the night to have all of the week's worth of stuff done before Wednesday. So we have our practice quiz. That thing is open right now, and I want you to take that because that's what you need to do. You need to take that. It's over the syllabus. And that's what you need to take to be enrolled. And then we are going to have lecture quizzes on every chapter. They are in here too. So this is where you can find, when in doubt, the quizzes. You can go straight to them there, and you just click the link and launch the quiz and take the quiz, but it will be under assessments and quizzes right there. So let's go back to the home page. Announcements are on the left-hand side. In this announcement, let's go look at it closer. We have the practice quiz. We have the mention of the syllabus. So let's pop up the syllabus. Let me stop sharing here and show you the syllabus, because it is my contract to you, y'all. The syllabus is super important. Where are you, Microsoft Word? Syllabus is super important, and I want you to be able to look at it, read it, know all the policies that are in there, and there you are. And know what I'm talking about. Please, please read the syllabus. Every instructor always asks you to read the syllabus, and I always get students later in the semester that I know have not read the syllabus because they're asking me questions that were in the syllabus. So please read it, skim it. I've even made the syllabus even shorter. It used to be like 16 pages, and now it's only 9. So please skim through the syllabus and look at the information here. So we've got the course information's up top. We have my contact information, how you can get a hold of me. So I've got my email here. This is my Highlands email. That's the one I prefer. Why do I prefer that one over the online one? I prefer that one because I have my Highlands email come to my cell phone. So I've got the Outlook app on my phone. I'm sure probably some of y'all do too. In order to check your Highlands email, please be checking that student email. I check my email. I have it downloaded in my phone, and it pings me whenever you email me. So I will know that you emailed me, and I try to respond back in a timely manner. I have my little communications policy here where I'm going to try to respond to everybody within 24 hours. That's the goal. So if I know that you have emailed me, I'm going to try and get back to you as soon as possible between Monday through Thursday during the week. If it's the weekend, I'm may not get back to you as soon as possible. If it's, Saturday night and you're emailing me Saturday night, I to have a life and a family. So Monday through Thursday, I'm going to try and get back to you as soon as possible. But over the weekend, if it's a holiday, um, I might not be able to get back to you as soon as possible, but I try my best. So if you email me at Highlands, I try and get back to you as soon as possible because I know that you've emailed me. The reason I don't suggest the D2L email, even though D2L is awesome and it can send notifications, which we're going to talk about in a second, it does not let me know that you emailed me unless I'm logged into D2L. That's the only way I know that you sent me an email. So if you sent me an email through D2L, like, I don't know, Friday at midnight, I'm not going to know that you emailed me in D2L. And it may be, Sunday morning or Sunday night or Monday morning before I log back into D2L. And I may not see that email. So I prefer the Highlands email because I get it right away, no matter where I'm at. And I try and respond to it as soon as possible. D2L is limited. I have to be in D2L to see that you email me for those. So Highlands email, please. And thank you for that one. Office hours. I do have face-to-face office hours. This is an online class, but I don't want y'all to not think that you can't come and see me. You totally can. I am on campus at the Cartersville campus. I'm there face-to-face in my office every Monday, Wednesday. So I teach AP2 on Monday, Wednesday mornings, and then in Monday, Wednesday evenings. So Monday, Wednesday, I'm there all day. So these are my office hours where I am in my office. I try and be in my office there. Sometimes I get pulled away into other meetings or other things like that, but I should be in my office there. How do you guarantee I will be in my office during my office hours? You can lock in an appointment. So down here is Navigate. And with Navigate, you just log into Navigate. All of us have Navigate. You log into Navigate and you can search for me. So search for Kim Subach and look for office hours. And anytime in my office hours here, you can book a time slot and we can meet individually, one-on-one. We can meet face-to-face on Monday, Wednesdays, or if you just want to meet virtually on Zoom, we can totally do that too. You don't have to come to campus, but if you want to go over stuff, I don't understand what went wrong. I need some help with studying. Can you help me out with whatever it is? I'm totally happy to meet with you. Please, I always want to meet with my students. If you are struggling, let me know, and I want to meet with you over the phone, Zoom, whatever, because I want y'all to all be successful and I want to help you out. So these are the times where I can help you face-to-face in my office. Tuesdays are virtual only on Zoom. Here is the link for Zoom and the password down below to get into those meetings. Face-to-face office, this is my office phone when I am there on Mondays and Wednesdays. You can call that number and get a hold of me. So there's lots of different ways to get a hold of me. Also, speaking of Zoom, for my online only students, since you do not come to campus face-to-face, I like to set up a time that I call supplemental instruction. It is a time dedicated to y'all, just to y'all. So I'm going to pop back into, stop sharing this. I'm going to pop back onto the course and just show you real quick what I've got going on there. So I've set up down here on my next list, I've set up a little survey that you could take, and it's just one question, and it's just time slots. Like, let me know what time slot might work for you in my office hours, and whatever one works for the most people, that's what I'm going to set up. And so, every, I don't know, for example, Tuesday at 1, that could be my time for mid-micro, and I will block out that time, and I won't have my AP2 students bugging me. I won't have my advising students trying to come in on your time. That is time that I will dedicate just to y'all. And you don't have to come. It's supplemental instruction. And I know a lot of y'all are not full-time students and you're not being able to come in face-to-face. And maybe you're working full work schedules during the daytime and you take classes at night. Whatever time you were working this class, and I understand. But if you can come to supplemental instruction, it will be great. And I can answer any questions that you may have at that point. I will also, of course, be available over email and office phone and stuff like that. But supplemental instruction, I have found that the students that attend supplemental instruction sessions really do get a lot more out of it, and they perform better in the class if they can attend supplemental instruction. So again, it's not mandatory. It will be a virtual Zoom session that we will have at whatever time works for y'all out of these options here. But that is supplemental instruction. So let's go back to our announcement. And then what else did I have on there? Practice quiz, the syllabus. So let's go through the rest of the syllabus. I am going to bounce back and forth between all sorts of stuff. You're just going to have to bear with me. Okay, so we went through contact information. So my office phone, the Zoom link, what the office hours are, how to navigate and book me for a personal one-on-one appointment, or we can meet via Zoom on the supplemental instruction every week or whatever time y'all choose. I try and get back to everybody again within 24 hours. If you are emailing me through Monday through Thursday, I'm going to try to do that. If I email y'all and it needs a response, I'm going to assume that y'all are going to try and get back to me with the same expectation that I have for y'all. Important class dates are all in here, like drop ad. If you log in and you're watching this video and you're like, hold up, this is not the class for me. I don't have time for this right now. This is not what I need in my life. Get out. I don't want you to leave, but you totally can if you had to. The drop ad period is all the way until the 20th. So you could still get out before the 20th and it's not going to cost you a dime if you do. But after that, you're going to be locked into this class. So I am going to have our attendance reporting that I need to submit. So that's your practice quiz, that survey that the practice quiz that you need to take on Respondus Lockdown Browser. If you can take that practice quiz, that means you're enrolled and you are attending. I need everyone to take that. Everyone in this class has to take the practice quiz. It also allows me to know that you have the proper tech at home for this class, because once we get through that and you have done the quiz, I'm going to assume that your tech is good, that you know what the expectations are. And later on, if something happened, you know that you're in charge. You're in charge of your tech. And if tech fails, I'm not responsible for that. You know what you need to do. You either need to borrow something, you need to come to campus. Every campus does have computers that are equipped with Lockdown Browser and Monitor. So call ahead to the library or the testing center and make sure they have a computer available for you if your tech failed for whatever reason and you need to do that. So tech failures are not an excuse in this class. If something happens, please email me. Please do communicate with me. If you communicate with me ahead of time and let me know something's going on, hey, I came down with COVID or whatever it is, let me know and I'll try to work with you. But I do have to set policy and expectations in the syllabus. So they're in here. Labor Day holiday is going to come up. Hopefully we'll all be able to enjoy at least one day off and relax, assuming that that's possible. That you could do that. Early alert in progress, that is going to be with the early alert. It used to be called satisfactory, unsatisfactory, and it'd be in score, but now it's in navigate. So it randomly selects students, and those students I will put in whether or not you are passing or not. So in this class, I'm going to hold it to the same standards as I do for AP1 and AP2. If you have a 70, a 70, a 70 or above, you are satisfactory in my book, and you are fine. If you are below a 70 at the day of early alert progress, if you are below a 70, if you are a 68 or something like that, then I would put in there that you do need some supplemental help and possibly reasons for the grade that you have and how to improve that. So that is what that day is. Midterm in this class is going to be the 15th of September. September 15th is the midterm. You will have quite a bit of grades in before the 15th. So you will know exactly how you stand. Half the grades should be in, and you will know, whether it is stay or go point at that point in midterm. If it is, you're looking at this class and you're scoring, and I'm hoping everyone is going to keep that A, right? I'm thinking positive. We're all going to have an A in this class. But if for whatever reason you need to get out of the class, do so before midterm. Do so before midterm. You don't want to have to drop the class afterwards, because if you do, then it's an F, and you don't want an F on your record. You don't want that affecting your GPA. If you get out before midterm, it's not going to affect your GPA, so you don't need to worry about that at all. It's just going to show up as a W on your transcripts. Absolutely not a big deal. I personally have 2 W's on my transcripts, and it's totally okay. So don't worry about that. If this class does not work out for you, it is okay, and you can take that W. The last day of class is in October. It's October 6th, and it is crazy. We don't have a whole lot of time for finals. They don't carve out a dedicated day for 8-week semester finals. So it's immediately like October 6th, last day of class, and then boom, October 7th is going to be your next class that you chose. So I have the final set up to start on the 6th, but I have extended it through to the 8th. So if you need to get through this class to have X number grade for whatever, I do have the final starting on the 6th, which is our last day of class, but I have extended it to allow it to go all the way through until Friday the 8th. Grades will be due on the 11th. So grades will have to be in to score, and they will show up, I believe, the next day on the 12th of October. So that is how the important dates are. I could run through this syllabus for a full hour. I'm not going to do that because we are already approaching on 20 minutes. And again, I don't want to waste your time. So we've got the write-up, we've got the course objectives. The textbook is here. Here's how you can get a link to the textbook. Textbook is also embedded in the class, but I'll show you real fast where you can get the textbook. Here it is. So the link is in the syllabus. I also have it downloaded. So here it is. We can view it online, which is one of my favorite things. I like to look at it online because online versions update constantly. This is an open education resource. It is free. It is the best part about this textbook is that it's free. This class textbook should not cost you a dime, and neither does lab as far as materials that you need to purchase. So you can view this textbook online. It is the backbone of the class. You can view it online. You can download it. You can download a PDF. I have personally done that work for you. I've downloaded the PDF. I have carved it up into all of the different 26 chapters, and I've uploaded them into D2L for you. So I have done that work for you. But if you want to download the whole PDF yourself, be my guest. You can also order a print copy. You can order that here. I believe they send you an Amazon link when you click it, or you can go to campus. You can go to the school bookstore and get your own paper copy of this book. It is a big book. It is a thick book. It's like this big. It's a great book. It's a great textbook. Again, it is the backbone of this course. This textbook is written at a majors bio level, by the way. So it is written for students that have already taken 1107 and 1108. We are not going to hold you to that major's expectation level, but I just want you to know that it is written at that level. It is assuming that you have a lot of knowledge, and it is going to just come across that way on the textbook. It is a great textbook. I really like it. It has a lot of material in it in this micro textbook. So that is the textbook, where to get it. There, let's bounce back to the syllabus real quick. So that's the textbook. The lab is going to be on Labster. When I go back to the course, we're going to go through Labster later. We have a LibGuide, which is really great. It's got a whole bunch of great resources on there for lecture, for lab, face-to-face lab materials. All sorts of really great stuff is on this LibGuide that I personally have worked really hard on this LibGuide that I've used. Myself and Bonnie Nandi have helped create this LibGuide. So it is there. It is a great resource for you to check out. Tech help and information is all here as far as tech that you need for lecture, for Respondus Lockdown Browser. There is information on Labster and the information that you need to run Labster on your device. So you can run it on Chrome, you can run it on Safari. I believe Labster even recommends Firefox, even though it says don't use Firefox. The last time I ran Labster, it said that you could run Firefox, but there are 3 different browser options to run this in. It does not work on tablets or smartphones. So again, you've got to have a computer, a desktop, a laptop. You need a computer to run these simulations. On the Respondus Lockdown browser, I want to say that it does now work on Chromebooks. It used to not, but now it does. So all sorts of information here on tech for this online class. Attendance. It's an online class. Attendance is going to be tracked. I can track every time that you log in, how long you logged in, what did you look at. There's all sorts of, Big Brother stuff in here to track that stuff. So I do keep track of attendance. Absolutely. The students who are logging in and doing their work regularly and on time are absolutely going to perform better than the students that are only logging in once a week. They're not going to be as successful. So please do log in every day if possible, for whatever amount of time you can, and get the work done. So please, one of the first things we asked you to do was do that attendance quiz, get that done. Please do that survey I asked about the supplemental instruction to figure out what time works best for everybody to do the Zoom meeting. Grade scale, we are on a 10-point grade scale. So that means that the student that makes a 91 in class has the exact same grade as the student that made the 99 in class. You both have an A and it counts the same. The student who made an 88 in the class does not deserve the same grade as the student who made the 99. So we are at a 10-point grade scale. If you make a 90 or above, you got an A. If you make a, an 80 to an 89, you have a B. Every semester, I get students that have a 77, a 78, a 68. Can I make it to the next grade level? You have to be within a point. My personal policy, this is my policy between me and you. If you are within 1 point of the next grade level, I will bump you there. So if you have a 79.1, I'm going to bump you to a B. But if you have a 78.9, you still have a C. You still have a C. So please, please, don't even get in that situation. Just don't get in that situation and be on the board or anything like that. If you are within a point, my policies are around you. If you are not, please do not email at the end of the semester. What can I do? Can I do a special thing? No, you cannot. And it's not ethical for you to ask me for a special thing just for you, because that's not okay. That's not okay. I could just give you a side project because I like you. I can't. I have to be fair, and that is my policy. So I draw the line at within 1 point. If you're within 1 point of the next grade level, I will bump you there. But anything more than 1 point, you are the grade that you earned. So that's my policy on that. How do we make an A in this class? Here are how the grades are made. So we're going to have 4 tests, and out of those 4 exams, they are 100 points apiece. They count for 10% of your grade for each one of them. Then I'm going to take your best one, the one that you rocked at. And that grade is going to count twice. So that's going to be your best lecture exam. So we're going to have 50% of the class, 50% of the class are exams for lecture. So that is this part right here. 50% is your lecture grade on lecture exams only. Then class participation. I am going to have every chapter is going to have a little quiz at the end. It's real simple, easy questions that if you watch the lecture videos, if you looked at the PowerPoints, if you have the chapter outlines with you, you should be able to answer those easy questions and get your participation points for those chapters. I'm going to take your top 20 best chapters, and those top 20 are going to count towards your participation grade, and the other 4 will drop. The comprehensive final. So we have 4 lecture tests, 100 points apiece. The comprehensive final is going to pull out of those 4 exams with 100 questions apiece. I'm going to pull randomly selected questions out of there, and those are going to be your final. So the final is comprehensive. It's going to be 150 questions instead of 100. You're going to have a longer time frame to do it, but they are going to be verbatim questions from your previous exam questions. So when you take a test and you perform well, hopefully you do really well. Everyone's going to study really hard and do really well in this class. If you missed a question, go back and look at them, because you might see that same missed question on the final, and I want you to be able to look at those. The lab is 25%. So that's the rest of our points. So we had 50% were test grades, exams 1 through 4, then your best exam. Then class participations, lecture quizzes are going to be 5%. The comprehensive final is 20% of your grade, and then the lab is 25% of your grade. So here's the point about the lecture tests. They are all multiple choice or matching on lecture tests. I don't do short answers. Rare is it that I do a diagram or anything like that either. They are multiple choice matching questions. Lab grade, how are we going to do lab grade? Lab grade is going to be using simulations with Labster that we're going to see in a little bit. Labster is going to have these little questions embedded throughout the simulations and that you will answer. And at the end, you will have, all of your questions answered, and it will give you a progress, and you will get lab exercise points for how you scored on that. So every time you take the simulation, you can take it again and again, as many times as you want. However your grade is at the end of when that lab simulation is due. So this week we have biosafety and bacterial cell cultures. It's the last page of the syllabus. We have biosafety and bacterial cell cultures. Those are the 2 lab exercises that are due this Wednesday at midnight. So you can do those as many times as you want until you get it up to 100%. I'm totally cool with that. But after Wednesday at midnight, whatever that grade is at that point, that's going to go as your lab exercise grade. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 lab exercises that you will do in Labster. I'm going to take your top 10 and your other 2 are going to drop. So that's how lab exercises are graded. The lab midterm and the lab final are going to take those questions that you're doing in your lab exercises randomly selects them, and it's going to put them in the lab midterm and the lab final. So run those labs or simulations as often as you want, please do, and use them to study for the lab midterm and for the lab final. Your lab grade, we're going to add up all those points out of 300 points, take the average, whatever you have. If you got 250, divide that by 300, that percentage is going to go back up here. And that's going to be, here we are right here. That's going to count as 25% of your overall course grade. So lecture and lab are combined in this class. They're not separate, like if you went to KSU or Georgia State or something like that, where lecture is separate and lab is separate. These are all one class, and lab is 25% of your grade. So this is how lab is going to work. Here are all the policies. I'm not going to read every single policy to you again, because we're already at 30 minutes now and we're still on the syllabus. But these are the policies. Please look at the policies. This is my contract with you. So I'm going to expect that you have read all of these. Please do. Read them. This is the GHC policy website right here that has all the other policies about inclement weather and early alerts and lab safety and COVID and campus carry. All the policies are there. So I try to shorten up my syllabus this year and just link to them so they're not all embedded in this syllabus and making them super duper long. But if you're curious about what an unearned F is, you can link on this policy and look it up. Disruptive behaviors here, email, please use your Highlands email. I'm not going to expect you to check your Highlands email. I'm going to try and communicate with you through announcements and through your student email. If I have to, I might text you, but hopefully everyone is going to see the announcements. And that's usually going to be the way I'm going to communicate with the class as a whole, is on the announcements page. Academic integrity we already talked about, but here again, I don't tolerate cheating. I don't. I'm going to watch you take your tests. I'm going to watch you take the lab exams. And if I see anything like cheating, I'm going to try and send you to the Judiciary Committee. So I don't tolerate it. I think it's insulting to me. I think it's insulting to other fellow students in your class that have worked really hard, that somebody thought that they could just, look at their phone while they're taking the test and cheat. That irritates me. So I don't tolerate it. You will get a 0, and I will send you to see if I can get you for an F for the whole class. I promise you, I'm a really nice person. I promise you, I really am. I will try and bend over backwards for you to do whatever I can to help you be successful in this class. But cheating is one thing that's just like, gets me. So don't do it. Don't do it. Just don't do it. This paper here is the paper that I keep referring to. I don't care if I have a face-to-face class or an online class. I print these things out every semester. This paper has everything. It's like the cliff notes of the class. Everything that you need to know as far as deadlines on what is due is on this paper, which is not showing up right now. But here it is this paper. So you can see all of the things that are due this week. Here, we have 3 chapters of lecture material that we need to go over and have quizzes done on them by Wednesday at midnight in order to stay on track in this class. There are 26 chapters covered in this class. I carve out 17 and 18, so I cut it down to 24 chapters, which means that there are 4 tests and 6 chapters apiece. And in this 8-week class, we are going to hit the ground running. We are covering 3 chapters in the first week. So chapters 1, 2, and 3 are covered in this first week, and they are due Wednesday, the 18th. I also want you to try and knock out that practice quiz. In order for you to stay enrolled in this class, you got to do the practice quiz. These are the lecture materials that are due this week. These are the lab materials that are due this week. Are you able to see this? Are you seeing this? We are, right? Sometimes I get worried that I bounce to online and you're not seeing what I'm seeing. But these are the lecture. These are the lab. When in doubt, go back to the syllabus and look and see on these dates, because sometimes, I don't know, maybe the dates disappeared off the calendar for whatever reason. But these are when things are due and what I'm going to hold you to. And if you don't get, say your lab thing, say you've totally spaced and I forgot to get biosafety done by Wednesday, then you get a 0 for that lab exercise. And I don't want anybody to start off this class on the wrong foot. So I'm hoping everyone's watching this video and that we're all going to get everything done by Wednesday at midnight. So this is week 1's information right here. Then week 2, next week, we are going to cover chapters 4, 5, and 6. And we are going to have that information done because next Wednesday, the 25th, is our very first exam. So not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday is the exam one, covering 6 chapters of material in this class. So this page on the syllabus has everything on it. It is your reference for when things are due. So that is the syllabus. Let's bounce back to class and make sure that we are where we want to be. So we've talked about the syllabus. The monitoring exams, when you're taking the test, you can see suggestions on taking the test. You're taking an exam. I want you eyes forward. It's going to record you. It's going to let you know if for some reason that you're looking away and you're not making eye contact with the camera. It sends an alert to you and says, I can't see you. And it will let you know, I can't see you. So please wear proper clothing, whatever you would wear to school, wear those. Please cover up. You would be shocked at the things that I see on the camera that I never wanted to see. So please dress appropriately when you're taking your test, because you are recorded. Make sure the light's on so I can see you just like we would in a face-to-face class. Please, just you and the computer, just watching and taking your test. That's it. Nothing else, nobody around. I know it's hard sometimes to carve out time and make a quiet place for you to take your test, but please try your best. I mean, even in this video, I think my kid has walked in 3 times and the dog is trying to disturb me. I get that things happen that you cannot control while you're taking the test, but try your best to be, isolated, alone in a quiet environment with the lights on and just you and your computer to take your test. Make sure I can see you because I'm watching you. Super creepy, but I am. Okay, so that is that one. Back to the class. Nope, that's not what I want. There we are. All right, so we have walked all the way through our entire Welcome to Med Micro announcement. I have a video that walks you through D2L notifications. So on the D2L notifications, if you are in here, you would click on here and then you just go to notifications and you can go through and check the box of all the different things that you want to be notified about. Announcements would be good. Grading is good. My favorite, absolutely, that I tell everybody to do because I am an online student myself and I need to know when things are due. Please click on the ones for assignments. Assignment due date or end date is 2 days away. Yes, please. Click on I have it on the SMS because I want it to text me. So D2L should have your cell phone in there. If it doesn't, put it in there and it will text you. Don't forget that, exam 1 is closing and you need to make sure that you've done that. Don't forget that the lecture quiz is due and you haven't done it. It will text you. So I love D2L notifications. I always let everybody know about them. I'm also going to make weekly announcements to try and keep everybody on track on what's due every week. So this week, again, we talked about, we have lecture quizzes on the 3 chapters that we're covering. We also have the 2 lab simulations. Those are also due. So where do we get to all that? All of this is going to be covered in the class content. We have this teeny tiny widget over here for class content. It's ridiculously small. I wish it was bigger, but it's not, and I don't have the authority to make that widget bigger. So to get to the class content, come over here, content, click it, and then we will go down. I have chunked the entire class into the start here, the 4 lecture exams, and the lab. So on the start here is the webpage, which I hope some of you all have already logged in and visited this, so I thank you. You are awesome. Here is the start here page. It too has a link to the syllabus, which we've just gone through. And then I have bukus of tips, so many tips to help you study. I understand that some of y'all are coming to me after this is like your last class before applying to dental hygiene or nursing school. Stop it. The pity has seen gremlin. Sorry. I know that some of y'all, this is your last class and you don't need these study tips because you're already a star performer and you're good to go. And then other students are like, this is your first biology class. And so y'all will be coming to me possibly from chemistry and you're walking straight into Med Micro. So I like to give everybody study tips no matter where you are in your class progress. I like to give everybody the same tips and tricks. So here is a whole bunch of different study tips that I really want you to look through because I like to give everybody all sorts of tools to use to put into your toolbox, because what works for me is not necessarily what works for you. I personally like to record my lectures. I will record face-to-face lectures and listen to them when I'm stuck in the car in traffic. I will listen to them, and that's one more way for me to learn the material. I love videos. I love videos. I love visual, seeing things. So I record all my lectures and I put them up in YouTube and then put those out there for you, just like I've got this video. I love other YouTube videos too. I will link to those in the PowerPoints. So videos, I love videos. I love listening to stuff. I like getting my hands onto things, tactile stuff. So tactile, you can handwrite your own study guides. That's another way. You can form a study group, because see one, do one, teach one honestly really works. If somebody told you that you have to teach your friends how cellular respiration works, buddy, you'd study that a whole lot harder than if you were just like, oh yeah, I think I know about it, I'm fine. If you had to tell somebody how to do that, you'd learn it more than not having to teach somebody to do that. So if you want to form a study group, or even just, teach your family members about concepts, that works. So if you want to do a group me, however you want to do this, set up a group to chat amongst yourself, do it. Whatever works for you. So there are a ton of tricks and tips on this page for you to know things. At the very bottom, it's got the Bloom's taxonomy scale on, assessing how well do you know something. Or am I at the bottom of the pyramid where I just remember stuff? Am I at the top of the pyramid where I could like really analyze and compare this versus this versus this? How am I on my knowledge assessment? I am going to ask questions that run the gamut. A lot of my questions are at the bottom of the pyramid. Simple recall. Can you recall? What's this vocabulary term? Yes. Do I ask those questions? Absolutely. I have easy softball questions in there. But I may also ask you to apply that knowledge. So we may be up here on apply on the pyramid, and you may have a few questions like that. So I kind of have a range of questions in there in this class. So I need you to study. It's a lot of material. I am going to have audio reviews for every single test that will highlight the material that I definitely want you to know for each test. So here are the different study skills on our table of contents. Then I have chunked the lecture material into the different exams. Let's go into one. Okay, so I have chunked them in order of priority. So every exam is broken down into the chapters covered in it. So the first exam is chapters 1 through 6. Chapter 1 is going to be broken down into order of priority. The top one is the textbook, because I told y'all the textbook is the backbone to the class. Here is the textbook. I have, again, downloaded that PDF and put it in here. So there's no excuse for anyone not to read the textbook. It's here for you. So we have the PDF of the textbook on the top. Then I have taken the textbook and I have gone through and boiled down what I felt was the important information out of each chapter and put it into a chapter outline. So these are boiled down versions of the textbook. Do they substitute for the textbook? No. But they are really good, helpful resources for you to figure out, out of the whole book, what do I think is important? These are. But if you're reading the outline and it's not making sense for you, please do go back to the textbook. And if it's still not making sense for you, come to me, email me, absolutely email me, come to the supplemental instruction session and ask your question then, or, we can do a one-on-one session, or you can just email me. But let me know if this information is not making sense. But here is another resource for you to learn this material, because again, it's a lot of material and it's real fast. So we've got the textbook PowerPoint is here. We have the Word document outlines that are here. Every lecture is going to have a lecture PowerPoint. I am constantly referring to videos and websites and links and stuff in my PowerPoints and the videos that I tell you to watch for lecture. So here are the PowerPoints. Download them to your device in order for you to use those links. If I am talking about a super cool website, or if I am linking to, the Department of Public Health's website, because we were talking about COVID and infection rates and stuff like that. The link, if you download the PowerPoint and then you put it on presentation view, those links will work for you, and you too can go to those. So I give every chapter its PowerPoints. Those are in here. And then below the PowerPoints, we have the video lectures that I have uploaded to YouTube and put them in here. So here's our videos for every single lecture. So every chapter has a lecture, and every chapter, all 24 are in here that I've taken the time and recorded for you. do know that I started making these when COVID hit, because we had a face-to-face class and bam, we all had to go online. So some of these are possibly older, from spring of 2020. And then I think I've made some in fall of 2020. So you may see the videos bounce between spring and fall, but the material is the same, even if the slide says, I don't know, April of 2020 from the Department of Health and COVID rates, for example. The material is still the same, but some of these videos, you may look at them and be like, wait, this is old. Some of them are from spring of 2020, but the material still works. And then underneath our videos is a study guide. So study guides are great. I've made these for y'all to highlight important terms from here. These are great for vocabulary terms because I told y'all at the bottom of the period was just recalling vocabulary terms. So there are definitely questions on just simple terms. Then we have all of the different ways to go above simple recall and up to, describe and analyze kind of terms. So if you can answer all of these 22 questions for chapter 1, your knowledge base is secure. You are set. If you could answer all of this stuff, hands down, you're going to get an A in this class. So I have created a study guide for every single chapter on the test, and they are here. And then textbook review questions. Normally, I tell my students that you can look at the review questions that are in the back of the textbook, and they're great and they help you, but they're not going to be on the test. This is the class that I do actually pull verbatim questions from the textbook and I put them in the test. So sometimes it's 2 questions, sometimes it's 3 questions, but there will be a few small number of questions from every single chapter from the back of the textbook that will be in the test. So it's going to be another way for me to get you to read the textbook. So read the textbook, try the practice questions. The answers are also in the textbook. So go through these and, everyone is going to get at least 2 questions from every chapter, right? Because you've done these textbook questions and you know that they're coming on the textbook, on the exam. And then occasionally, OpenStax gives us practice images. These are just here as supplemental, just like the study guides. These are supplemental resources. They are helpful to just teach you concepts, especially like diagram kind of things. They're in here. So we've got a diagram of the phylogenetic tree. We have a diagram and a picture of the different sizes just to give you a relevance on the size of a virus versus the size of bacteria versus the size of a eukaryotic cell. This is all in here. So practice images are just, take them with a grain of salt. They're just more supplemental instruction information for you. So that is everything in chapter 1. And again, we are covering 3 chapters before Wednesday at midnight. So this is chapter 1. And then once you cover chapter 1's material and you feel pretty solid about it, then go to your quizzes and take the chapter 1 lecture quiz, and you're going to ace it and you're going to do awesome. And we are going to take those quizzes and they'll count for your participation grade. So these are the first things that are due as far as lecture. And then let's go to lab. So we're going to go back to content, scroll on down to lab because lab is 25% of your grade. And I want you to know how lab works. So I'm going to close up this and let's go to lab. All right, so with lab, our first ones are biosafety and bacterial cell structures. So I should have them in order. So click on biosafety and it'll pop up and boom, I'm already in Labster. So it's embedded within D2L. It's going to link over, open up a new window on your browser, Firefox, Chrome, whatever you're using. And sometimes it takes a while. You can see it's stuck on like 24% right now, but it will eventually load and you will run through the simulation. It will ask you questions throughout the simulation. And when you complete it, you will have a score of how you did. That's how you're going to be graded on lab exercises. Those questions that you are answering are then going to show up on the lab midterm and the lab final. So on the lab midterm, we are covering all the way through bacterial quantification by culture. That's our last lab exercise before the lab midterm. And then we will start fresh with control of microbial growth. And then we will go through those 6 exercises, ending with ELISA tests. And then we will have the lab final exam. So go through your simulation. Biosafety is loading. It's almost there for me. Hit start.
Using the lab pad is an important way to get the most out of this simulation.
So it's going to run through all of this. Labster is cool. It's really cool. It does align with a lot of the stuff that we do in our face-to-face class. Does it substitute for actually learning the skills on aseptic technique? No, it doesn't. I wish it did, but it's a virtual simulation and it cannot actually substitute for you learning these skills in a face-to-face lab, but it's as close as we can get. in an online environment. So that is how Labster works. Let me exit out of there. But that's Labster. You're going to get a grade at the end of every exercise, and that is going to be your lab exercise grade. Whatever you get as far as a grade by Wednesday at midnight, I'm going to count as your exercise grade. And Thursday, when Thursday rolls around, if you haven't completed it, I'm going to enter it in as a 0 in the grade book. And I have my own grade book, and I will take those grades and put them into my grade book to add up separately. So Wednesday at midnight is the day when your lab exercises are due. It's the day when your lecture quizzes are due. And if there's an exam that week, the exam is also due. I try and give everybody 48 hours for exam time because, again, I know y'all are working during, some of y'all are working during the day. And then you can only take tests at night, or some people work at night and you can only take tests during the day. But I try and give everybody a 48-hour window to take tests. When you log in, you will have 75 minutes to complete the test. You have to complete it within that window, just like I would for a face-to-face class, to finish those questions and complete the test. I feel like I am missing something. Okay, so I already have the week 1 announcement that is gone live and it is out there, and you can see that. So this is my week 1, and we will have weekly announcements that tell you, again, don't forget, this is due and this is due and this is due, and we need to have it done by this time. So please let me know if you have any questions. Please log in, do the practice quiz, do the quick survey to let me know what time supplemental instruction works for you. And we'll try and set that up as soon as this week. I'd love to meet with you all on Zoom, on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday of this week before everything is due again, and get to see your nice faces and talk with all of y'all. So I think that is it. I'm going to wrap it up. I have talked for way too long on this orientation video. Reach out with me with any questions, and we're going to have a great semester. Thanks, guys.